What's up, folks? It's the real estate crew. You already know. So today's video topic, as we walk and talk, is Danmachi season 4, episode 10. Only watch this if you aren't afraid of any spoilers that are anime only, because that's where we are. So last episode, the villain was going nuts, bruh. And director was like, yo, I respect that person. And then we had a comment that was like, yo, that's the first time director made me mad. Because, you know, that guy is heinous. He's a sociopathic maniac. There's no reason to have any respect for him. And from a mature level of thinking, 100% correct. But I like to keep it 100? Nah, man, nah. The thing is, when we do our videos, there's gonna be many moments where we suspend logic and submerge ourselves into a fantasy world. Sometimes it's a little effed up. And before you jump at us, just remember, what did you do with your free time when you played Grand Theft Auto? What did you do with these civilians, right? Who remembers the airport scene in Call of Duty? Oh man. So, but now in all reality, if you ever hear us, well, I mean, before I even say my point, even when we watch Stranger Things, Dorkable's rooting for the monsters. She's like, oh no, don't kill the monster. We know in real life, you know, she's gonna choose humanity over the monster. We just know that. But you can kind of let your feelings go when you're watching a show and not let your real life morality and ethics, you know, get involved. A lot of times it does. Like, for example, if I see something happening to kids in a fiction, or if I see things happening to women in fiction, you know, that hits my, like, I can't, nah, that's not cool. If I see a whole bunch of men getting bodied, I may not be moved emotionally, you know, I may not be moved. Anyways, so where I'm going with this is, if you watch Sandman episode 11, it's a post-discussion, so I'm not gonna ruin the show. So you can still listen. And we had a talk about villainry. And what it is there's a Hall of Fame for heroes, protagonists, and then there's a Hall of Fame for the villains, antagonists, right? And we can respect a good antagonist, and we can respect a good protagonist. Antagonist, my bad, is never respected because we think they're a good person or that we approve of their actions. The antagonist is only respected when we ourselves are also thinking like an antagonist and what a good antagonist would do. It's actually covered in Despicable Me. That's why the homie was trying to get the moon. Like, you do these feats and other villains look at you and like, yo, that villain over there, we respect him because of the feat that they accomplished. So, this villain in Danmachi, at first, he came off like a little bitch. Not even gonna sugarcoat it, because he just wanted, you know, revenge on Gail, who let him live. As far as I remember, she let him live, thought he was gonna die or whatever, and he didn't. And now he's like, he's trying to get her. And it's like, yo, he's a bitch, man. But hear me out as the story unfolds. First of all, his VA is fire. He's fire. And that really affects someone like me, how I perceive the character. I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy, but I love the work that the VA is putting. Whenever that happens to me, a little bit of director, but whenever that happens to me, it shifts my mood a little bit. I start to feel the passion that VA is putting into the booth. Also happens with Homelander and his charisma. He starts luring me in. I'm like, yo, this is a cool character. Evil, but cool. So, anyways, the evolution of this villain began when he was like, nah, you think I'm just getting revenge on you? You think that's what this is about? No, I'm gonna tame it. I'm gonna wipe you out, and then I'm gonna be that guy. And it was like, oh man, he's more than a bitch. Like he at least stands for some higher purpose. There's more to it than that. Then you gotta look at his conviction, bruh. He's right there in the storm of it all. he set up his friends. Like, he had people that trusted him, and he sacrificed them for a greater cause on some Merrick shit from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, yo, man, that is fire. So there's certain trigger words. I don't know if I said it in that video, but there's certain trigger words, not only with the VA, but like, if I see it, it's gonna make me think a certain way, and I'm like, yo, this is fire. So when he sacrifices his friends, it reminds me of some Yu-Gi-Oh shit, because that's the whole basis of it, bro. So I can't bring out this dark magician unless I sacrifice my mystic elf and Celtic guardian. And those were the homies, man. That Celtic guardian was always coming through for Yugi. But what would he do? The moment he had an opportunity for a dark magician with his deep ass, manly ass, old pharaoh ass, my 18%, not really, which percentage is he coming from? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, man, he would sacrifice his homies. And what would he say? He would say, I sacrifice for a greater cause. That's what Yugi would say. A greater cause, the conviction. So when a villain does something similar, or anyone does something similar, I'm like, yo, I see that. It's the passion. Remember, a greater cause. Kaiba would do the same shit, bro. It don't matter who it was. He was gonna sacrifice anybody if he could bring out his blue eyes. Kaiba was so gangster, he sacrificed an Egyptian god to bring out the blue eyes. Like, what? An Egyptian god? He had Albus, he was like, nah. My blue eyes is talking to me. I sacrifice an Egyptian god to bring out my blue eyes white dragon. And he started bodying. Merrick was shook. Merrick thought that Millennium Rod was his. That's the kind of shit that gets me hype, man. I'm actually adding an interjection because the more I thought about it, I was like, yo, that's exactly what this dude did. That's why I'm getting the Yu-Gi-Oh feelings, bruh. He was like, I sacrifice all y'all adventurers. I sacrifice my friends. I sacrifice all of this so I could summon despair. All of y'all is gone. I was like, yo, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh movie. It was before the cards. I remember back in the day, they would just have, big ass tablets and they just duped it out. That's what it was. JoJo spoiler if you haven't watched Stardust, but Dio, yo, when you find out that Dio has time controlling powers, right? Or he could freeze time, it's then when you realize, like, the Polnareff part where Polnareff kept climbing the stairs and he found himself like down the stairs, right? And you just think about the theatrics of Dio, and it's like, yo, this guy Dio is a troll. He really kept pausing time, running his ass down there for what, 7-8 seconds? I forgot how much time it was. Picking up big ass Polnareff, bringing him downstairs, running back up, and acting like he wasn't breathing hard, just to toy with him. I'm like, yo, Dio, that's a goated villain, man. He's goated. That's why he gets respect in the world of villainry, bro. He don't even have a good reason not to like these people. They were nice to him. They gave him food, water, shelter, clothing. He was going to inherit property most likely. And he hated these people because he thought he just deserved the world. He's a good ass villain, man. And he had conviction. You couldn't stop this guy. He was willing to do whatever it took to win. Respect. Joker, Batman 2. If y'all haven't seen it, don't watch. But yeah, man, they try to give him money. He wanted half. He asked for half of everything. They showed him the money, and what did this man do? He burnt all that money. I don't need money. I don't need money. All I need is gas, like matches and gasoline. How was he paying his people? How did he get his people to work for him? Don't know. But the fact that he did all that and got rid of the money, it's like, oh, this villain stands for something. He has principles. It's fucked, it's twisted. It's not really supposed to make sense. He is a sociopath. He's just written well. And that's the part that's like, yo, this author, this writer, They made someone who's interesting and worth watching and carry the show. A good villain carries the show, guys. Lex Luthor in Smallville said, you know, a hero's only as great as their villain is, bro. You know, like literally, bro, if you're a lame-ass villain, Bell can't be great. He needs a great villain to be great himself. That's how you're remembered, based on your feats. The 12 whatever things of Hercules, all them trials that Hercules had to go through before he became great. That's how this works. The greater the villain, the greater the hero. Never forget that. And some of your favorite heroes went against serious villains. That's why you like that hero, because they had to go through something that they had to persevere for. And if that villain can't challenge him enough, you got a lame hero. Lame hero. I kind of went off on a tangent, but what's happening is, it's just little parts of my brain that gets tickled. And if the buttons get pushed in the right way, I'm like, yo, this villain over here, that's a dope character. In the story, in the world of villainry, you know? But that's my thought, man. Last time I did this video, Jafari TV, he's like, yo, I like this format. And the funny thing is, the last video I did got just as much views and watch time as the shit that I spent 3 hours editing. I'm like, yo, that's some bullshit. And I think I can capture my natural energy a little bit more when I'm walking versus when I'm sitting. So, I don't know, I might go to like wilderness, lakes and shit and do this kind of videos. So, hey, I will make these kind of videos about anything that interests me, any particular commentary that interests me. So, much love to you guys. Until next time, I sacrifice you!
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so. The link is in the description of this video, and I actually tweet back. Much love, Rocklee.